Hello and welcome to episode 9 of my Satisfactory Let's Play. So today we've got a lot to do. We got the bulk of the factory built last time. There's no walls. There will be eventually, but probably not till the very end. And there's still a few more floors to go. But the main thing is we've got to start taking all of our resource nodes, moving them over and getting them up in the factory. So between episodes, I spent a lot of time working on these. I mean, they don't look that complicated, but it took a long time. Over here, well, you guys can't really see. Hold on. Let me fix that. Okay, anticlimactic because you can't see or hear explosions. Yeah, I was going to say there should be more. Well, that would have been a whole lot cooler if there were explosions. Maybe I was too far away. Yeah, so much for the cool intro. Okay, I've reloaded my save a few times. I exited the game and reloaded my save. It's not working. The first take is actually better than any of the other ones. There's some kind of issue. Apparently 150 nobelisks on the ground and blowing them all up at once. It's just a little too much. I don't know. And then the save, it doesn't work. It's like they're not all saved, because when I reload my save, I have way less nobelisks, and then there's a bunch of trees, and yeah. Anyhow, we're going with the first take. That's, one take and you're done. So back to this. Between episodes, I spent a considerable amount of time laying this out and laying all this out, and it doesn't look that complicated. I mean, it's not, but everything had to be in a real specific spot. So, for example, Mark II miner. This is an impure iron node. We'll put the miner there. The conveyor will come over. Then the lift will come up. It'll get onto this, and the conveyor will start going that way. There's another impure iron there. Same thing. There's two normal iron. They're going to follow that concrete along. All this stuff will go away. We don't need it. I could tear it down now. I could have already tore it down, but I have it set up to where everything's going into the awesome sink. So I'm getting a lot of tickets out of all those steel beams I don't need, because the storage is already full. So, might as well sink it. We've also got this bridge back here because the pure coal node is back there. And there's also a Caterium node back there, but you need explosives to get to. So that's why I first went over there for Caterium. But now that we've got nobelisks, we can use that one. I'll still get the other one. We'll end up having both of them. So I built the bridge, and then I built this, right? And it's going to bring... 2 nodes will come in this way, and then more and more will join, and then it'll feed into the factory. And you might look at it and be like, I mean, that's okay, and that bridge, I mean, it's kind of plain. And I did that on purpose. I want the focal point to be the awesome factory. And that's why we're not going to put walls on until the very end, when I've got access to all the materials and I can make glass in large numbers and stuff. So I want that to be the focal point. I want all of this stuff. I want it to look realistic. I want it to be functional. You look at it, you're like, I get what that does. It looks like it would work in real life. It looks okay. It doesn't look bad, but it doesn't look awesome. I don't want it to look awesome. So all of these nodes will feed in, go in here, and then they're going to come over and go up. And you can see 2 floor holes there, and you can barely make out one right there. So for example, the steel, which will be these 2 iron and that coal, are going to come down here. They're going to go up. They're going to go up. The steel will be produced here. The steel ingots will come back, come down, and then go on to the main bus, which is what all this is on our logistics floor. And then the steel ingots will start going that way. And wherever I need steel ingots, we'll pop them off and send them back up to the production floor. That's basically the idea. It'll make more sense when I start building it. But the point is, the logistics floor and all these conveyors are to move items around in the factory. None of that is to bring the raw resources in. To bring the raw resources in, we're going to bring them over, bring them up. So that'll be where the steel, that'll be where these 2 iron and that coal come up. Then next to that will be all the other iron that comes up to be made into iron, and then copper and Caterium. And we got to bring up the limestone and the quartz. So all that stuff will come up there. And then we'll produce things and send it back down. And then on the other side of the base is a bunch more nodes. So all of those nodes also will run on this, but they'll all be coming this way. These will be going that way. We're also going to tear the old base down. I'll explain that in a second. Don't worry, we're going to leave kind of a memorial to it. but all of those nodes over there will follow this. So that's the basic idea. Let me go down to the other end and explain that, and then let me pop over here and explain this. Okay, so we're at the other end of the factory, looking back where we were down there. So all of the nodes down here are going to feed that direction. There's 2 normal iron right here, and those are set up just the same, where I can take the miner and when I spin it the direction I want, and we might need to put another foundation behind it, but when I spin it the right way, it'll be centered on that and then be able to come this way, and the other one will be able to come this way. Also up here, we've got the limestone on the left. We've got 2 more normal iron on the right, and then hopefully don't drive off the end here. We've got 2 normal limestone there and another limestone on the far side. So that will be most of the resources over here. On this side going that way, the ones on the other side are coming back towards us. I know that crystal we're going to truck in. I could technically make a belt. Some people do. Oh, there's another. That's the copper node. Some people do. I don't want to do that. And you notice the way we just drove through here? Well, I'm going to put the truck station in here. Originally, I was looking at putting the truck station down here, and I was experimenting with this, and I know we're also going to probably have a truck bring oil, or maybe just the oil finished products over. But no matter how I looked at it, I was going to have a truck that had to come that way, and I was going to have a truck that way, and they were going to cross paths. There was no way for them to not cross paths, and I didn't like the truck stations were going to be this far. So I'm going to tear this down, and the truck station's going to go under there. All right, so that explains the nodes on that side and the far side. And I already said we're going to tear this down. I want to leave some of it, though, right? Like kind of as a memorial, because, hey, it's the first building, you know, it's nostalgic and what have you. So number one, when I go to tear it down, I'm going to leave the foundations. All of the foundations that are embedded in the ground will stay. So I turned all the ones inside into concrete, so these will stay. All of the walls and the ceilings and the machines and the power lines and everything else will go away, but we'll leave the foundations. And the other thing was, you know, this little thing here, this first little bridge thing that's bringing our 3 normal iron this way. I'm like, I could use that. I could use that. So I continued the pattern into here, and then I switched it over to the new pattern that I'm using to continue on. And it looks a little weird because it's inside the building, but when the building's gone, you know, you'll be able to come over here and you'll see the outline of the original building, and you'll see part of, you know, this original bridge thing. So I think that'll look pretty cool. Oh, I don't know if I can jump up this way. Yes, thank you. So we're not just going to bring these 3 iron in like this, though. I'll change the copper, and the copper will come straight over. That limestone will come straight over. That limestone will come straight over. The limestone down there will go straight over. So everything is just going to keep joining into this and heading that way. And which is kind of what it's doing from the other 2 sides as well. So the factory is going to draw all of its stuff in, and it'll all head in from the 3 different sides. All right, so back over here, this and the one across over there are both impure nodes. So I put a Mark II miner on. Now it's going to say 60 right here. That's before I overclock it. It's not going to update with the overclock because it's not connected to power or anything. But if I put 2 power shards in and go to 200%, I get 120. I could put a third one in and get 150. The issue is, if I take this one and that one, 150 and 150, that's 300. The Mark III belt only does 270. So I'm just going to do this with 2. Give me 120. That one will be 120. I can combine those together. 240. I'll use the 270 belt. Eventually, we'll have the Mark IV belt, which I believe is 480. So then I could take like 4 impure nodes, or I could take 2 impure and 1 normal and combine them together as a Mark IV. So that I'm just trying to think ahead. So we'll have that one there, and then the same thing will be over here. And then I need to get both of these up here and combine them together on a Mark III belt. But we also have to remember, like, I could just run it down this side, right? But if I'm running it down this side, and this is going to be those 2 iron. And so I might need to come under and then like come up on that side. But if I ran these 2 down this side, when I get down to here, I need it to go that way, right? And so like, okay, so do you keep it on the bottom and then run it off? Okay, yep, that makes sense, right? So there's a lot of thought into how I'm going to run that, right? Like, do I need to run that over and up and then combine it with that one, or should I run that one over and up? Well, if I'm coming off this side, I probably want to be on this side, right? So I probably want to run this guy. Oh, and see the pillars partially in the way. They're on different grids just because that's where the node was, right? Yeah, so I'll probably have to move this over. But you can see what the little issues are and why it took me so much time moving things around, and I still didn't account for everything because I needed to start putting miners down. So yeah, give me a few minutes here. I'm gonna move this thing, yes, back one, yeah. So I've got some more clearance here. Yeah, give me a second. Okay, so to try to explain this, I'm up here on the production floor. So this is going to be our steel line. We'll have a line of foundries. We need to bring iron and coal in. And I kind of like set it up here. You can tell one of them will run along the ground, one of them will run up in the air, and then they'll get their iron and coal. So these will be our two floor holes here, providing those. So I'm going to kind of do it backwards. I already know that we're going to do Mark IIIs because and yeah, we'll have to do, some stuff here, but I don't really care about that. So we're going to start down here with some Mark IIIs. We're going to run these down. And I guess I'm going to do it like that. I don't think it really matters. Right, so that would take that up there. Okay, and then you come down here, and I think, yeah, I've already got the lift Mark IIIs down here. So then we're going to go to here, right? So we know we're going to need our iron and coal. And the reason I'm doing this backwards will make sense in a second. I was trying to figure this out. It gets very confusing, right? So, okay, that looks good, right? Okay, so we're going to go this way. One of these has got to be iron and one's got to be coal. We don't really care which one's which. Okay, and just remember, our two normal irons are going to combine into one belt and come this way, which I've already got the Mark III here. So this will be our two iron nodes, right? So come down here, do this. And the reason I'm doing this specifically, because it's like, what's the difference, right? Like, you're specifically calling out those two normal nodes, but you're overclocking these two. Well, I'm maxing this out almost. Putting two of those on one belt, I'm only going to be running those at like 100% instead of 200%. And the reason is the pure coal node, I cannot overclock it because I do not have a belt fast enough to carry the stuff away. When we do get the 480 belt, we'll overclock the coal node. Then we'll come over here and I can get more out of the iron nodes, and I could run two separate belts, but if we already have the 480 belt, we might as well combine them. So right now we're only doing 240 coal and 240 iron. Eventually it'll be 480 and 480, and we'll be able to get a lot more steel. So the iron comes from this way, 240 comes up, it goes, it turns, it goes up. The coal, okay, so that means the coal is going to come down the middle. Got to be careful here, make sure I don't grab a Mark 1. So by knowing the coal's coming down the middle, sorry if that made you motion sick. I already know we're going to go all the way down, right? And so I'm just going to continue that all the way down. And so the coal's going to come down here. All right, so there's our coal and iron, and it clips a little bit. I was trying not to clip, but like I can't do 3 wide up here without, sorry. It bothers me, but I can't really push it the other way because it's going to clip on the outside. Is what it is. All right. So that's our 2 iron and that's our coal. So now we need the iron. Well, we've got 2 impure. I already talked about how we can combine them together. So I can, what are you doing? Oh, because I started on the wrong side. This is going to take a minute because I keep landing on the belt. Okay, so there's our Mark III going that way. So these are our 2 impure going together, and these are going to be the first iron nodes that are actually going down to make iron. Right, and so this one's continuing on where the other one stopped. And the iron's all going to turn there. So just like I turned those, I'm going to turn those. I don't have anything on these two because we turned those off. Let's go back down here. This just is not easy to navigate the way I've made it. Really need a jetpack. So we've got this guy. I want to click it while I'm in the air, but I know I'm going to misclick. Okay. And I am putting a bunch of the poles in just for realism purposes because it kind of bothers me when they float like a super long distance. All right, so there you go. So our two Impures are going to combine together. They're both overclocked to 200. So it's going to get us actually 120. 120 and 120 is 240. So we'll have 240 iron, and that's what we're going to go with. We're not going to, I could overclock it a little bit more. I want to keep it at 240 so that when we go to the next belt, which I think is 480, the math works out. So that's our first iron. So what else is over here? I've already got those two nodes. I've got this iron node. I've got the coal. Okay, the Caterium, don't care about that right now. We're just doing iron. Well, there's no more iron over here. There's iron on the other side, which will come down and turn, but that's fine. We can do that after. What do we have over there? There's two impure irons that we've never used. Okay, cool. We'll combine those together. That'll be a 240 belt. There's three normal irons. Okay, we can overclock those and make each one of those 240. So we're gonna end up with 4 belts of 240. So those will be the 4 bottom belts. They'll come along, they'll come up. What are we gonna do with them? 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So it'll be these 4 belts will come down. 4 again, 4 again, 4 again, 4 again, right? You can kind of see how this is going. Now down here, I could keep it like this, and I could run that belt, these 3, and that one, and they could all go and turn the corner. Or we have the option of saying, well, you know what? Let's take this belt and bring it down. Okay. Let's take this one and bring it down. Let's take that one and bring it down. And then, oh, well, this one can't really come down. So I guess maybe it can come over to there or something. Probably better if I did that. It would end up, as we're losing belts, as those two turn off, we end up shifting stuff down so that at the next turn, it's all ready to turn. But I'm not a real big fan of how that looks. So I think, even though it's kind of wasteful, we're not going to do it like this, which means I'm not going to need that, and I'm not going to need this. And we're going to keep it to where it'll be this one, these 3, and that one, which will look a little strange, but it'll come down and turn the corner. But that's okay, because when the iron comes from the other side, we'll just make sure our iron from the other side uses these 2, and then it'll be able to go up here and up here, right? So it'll come down, and then when these turn in and those turn in, it'll all fill up. Hopefully. I don't know that for sure. So that'll be the iron from this side. Okay, well, what about the copper and the limestone and stuff? Well, I need to do the iron this way first. When the iron is done, which I just explained how I'm going to do it, right? I just need to, like I've done here, I need to do it a couple more times and throw some belts in. When the iron's done from this way, we need to figure out how many belts are coming from the other way and plan for that, because the copper, I think our first copper node is here. So the copper is going to come here. It's got to go this way and make this turn. Well, if the iron's coming here, he's got to go up a level, but those 3 are occupied from there. So I can't use those 3 in the second row, which is cool. That means I could use the copper in the second row. Yeah, because the copper's got to, yeah. See how confusing it gets trying to figure out, like, I just want it to look all nice and everything's nice and straight. And I don't want any weird, like, things jumping from one place to the other. So it's a little confusing. So give me a couple more minutes, or, you know, like an hour or 2, and I will do what I basically just said and just run some more belts. I'm not going all the way to the base. I'm not capturing all that stuff, but I will run some conveyors from close to the base over, up, and run these and run it all, and I'll turn the corner with it, and then we'll come back. I figured I better stop and explain this because it's getting complicated really fast. So we already talked about, I'm trying to do things in the right order where they kind of basically merge on and then merge off, and we don't have a bunch of stuff crossing each other. So the coal node is coming down the middle, so this will be coal. Over on the right, we're taking the impure miner there. It's coming up and merging on, and then the other impure miner that's on this side is going up and merging on, right? So that impure up and over down here with that one combined together, and that makes a 240 belt. So we've got a 240 belt of iron, 240 belt of coal. Then up here, we have the 2 normal irons back there, one there and one there. They're running down this concrete eventually. You can kind of see them there, right? They come under and come up and go this way. That's a 240 belt of iron. And like I explained, I can do more out of the coal than 240, but I don't have a belt fast enough. So when we get the Mark IV belt, we'll get more coal coming down this bottom middle, and we'll get more iron coming on this one. These 2 are the first 2 to turn off. So they both turn off here to make steel. So we're going to have 240 iron, 240 coal. Eventually we'll double that. So then I needed to bring in the iron, and we already had the 2 impures that we combined. That's the outside, right? So those 2 come along, and they're the first belt that comes down here to be processed into actual iron. I did try to your best to ignore all the other craziness as I get stuck. I did come from the outside and turn onto the inside so that I could free up these lanes coming from the other way. So that's our 2 impure nodes here coming in. So that's a 240. Okay, well then we've got what's back at the original base, which I explained before. There's 3 normal iron and 2 impures. So the 2 impures will combine together to make a 240. 3 more 240s. So we'll have 5 belts of iron coming back, or 4 belts of iron coming back. God, it's not confusing enough. And then I say the wrong numbers. So there'll be 4 240s of iron coming back. So I chose, because the whole bottom row's taken, so I chose the middle row and then 1 on the outside. So these are our 4 240s of iron coming back. I would love if I could just, I guess I could do that. Right? So then you're turning in these 3 and then that one. So then those 4 are coming down, and those 4 are combining with, right? So these 3 in the middle and that one and this one all come from that direction, which means we had these 2 and those 2 open. Well, it just so happens that the other direction is 4 normal iron. So I ran those as the bottom 2 and then up. Trying to show you, yeah. So these 2 will be iron and those 2 will be iron, right? And those combine together with the ones coming from the other way, and it makes 9. We end up with 9 belts, and each one will have 240 iron on it. So that works out, and nothing crosses each other, right? Pretty cool. Okay, then what's next? Okay, copper. So there's a copper node right here, and there's a copper node back at the original base. I'm gonna get back this way. So I can't use the middle row because down there, iron from the other way uses it. So we're going to lose out on the middle row, middle belt here. So what I'm going to do for the iron, or I'm sorry, for the copper, is we're going to skip the middle one. The copper will pop up here and we'll go just on top of this belt, right? So this will be the copper running down this row. All the way down, and you can see there it is. And then I need to get this copper. Okay, well, I did have to put a ramp in, and that's because the bottom row, if I have copper coming from this way, I can turn it in the middle. I can't turn it in the bottom, conveyors are here, and I can't turn it in the top because conveyors are there. So I have the opportunity to have the copper on the 3 middle. Well, there's 1 copper from that way. That's easy. Boom. I got 2 from this way. And instead of trying to go from like there to there or whatever, actually this seems, oh, right. That's how I did it. So this will get raised. So the copper node, even I'm confused and I just did it. This will get raised up to there. So that copper from that node is going to come across it cuts into the middle, and now we're on the middle because we couldn't use the middle back there, right? Because the iron's on the middle, but now we can use the middle. So the copper goes there. The copper from the old base is up here. I have to ramp it down and get it next to the other copper just because I can't turn at this level. So that is the copper from there, and from there, turning this way. The copper from there, which I think is that node, will turn that way. So that gives us 3 copper. What else is going to be on this area? Well, the Caterium is going to be down here. There's a Caterium node past the coal mine, and there's a Caterium node way off by the waterfall. Let me just go all the way down. So we need to bring 2 Caterium in. Well, the one is going to follow from, well, no, I don't know that it will. The one's going to come across the bridge with the coal. I don't know where the other one's coming from. I don't know if it's closer to... I don't know how the other one's going to go yet. Okay, I'm not sure. But the point is, there'll be 2 Caterium. I'm trying to talk and get back to where I want to go. There'll be 2 Caterium coming down. We know one of them's coming from the coal on the bridge. I'm going to guess the other one somehow. It's either coming this way or it's coming that way or what. I don't know. And we'll end up having the Caterium. I'm trying to think. I think I had to go up. Yeah, because those are in use, right? Because this is the copper. That's right. The copper's on this level and we can't use that one. So these 2 will be the Caterium. And then the Caterium will be able to go, yeah, down to here and then turn in. See, I even got confused, but I knew if I put the copper and the Caterium ones in, it was going to be even harder to see what I've done. I hope that made sense. It's a lot. There's a lot of belts, and it's really jammed in here. And it doesn't have to be. I could have laid it out different. I don't know. I just kind of how I did it. Now, when we get up there, everything's so much simpler. The way the logistics... I just landed on another conveyor. The way the logistics floor works up there is so much simpler than all this. It's just a matter of getting all this stuff in the base first. I've probably confused you all. All right, so what I've got to do now is, just like I kind of said, I've got it laid out to where the copper is going to come from this side and the Caterium. So I need to run those in. I can't jump on anything, to be honest. I need to run those in and run those down to where those go. That takes care of all of the iron everywhere. We're talking about here, there, and over there. It takes care of all the iron, takes care of all of the copper. It's going to take care of all the Caterium. We've got a SAM ore over there I don't really care about yet. There's another coal up there. I don't know where that's going to go. There's a sulfur up there. I don't know where that's going to go. But those are on that end coming towards us, so that's fine. The only thing that's still down here that we haven't gotten spots for yet is limestone. And we do have 4 normal limestones on that end, and that'll be the bulk of our limestone. But there is 1, 2, 3 impures and a normal or something. It's a decent amount of limestone over here. And unfortunately, we can't use this middle row middle. That's the copper. That is Caterium. That's Caterium. We can go up. No, we're already up to the top row, aren't we? Because that's 3. That's 6. That's 9. That's 12. Yeah, I only have spot for 1 more conveyor from this direction. And I need 2 or 3. So I don't know. I mean, we could see... No, that's not gonna work. That's definitely, that's too much clipping. That's too much. I don't know how the limestone's gonna work, basically. It's gonna fit somewhere. I don't know. Let me put up the copper and the Caterium ones, and yeah, I'll try to figure the limestone out. So I forgot I hadn't actually built one of these in this save yet. I do want to make a little blueprint just for that, and I'm not sure if I'm just doing one little square. I'm going to guess it's going to snap in the center off of this side. That's a wild guess. So let's see. So if this would be the that, then I know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know that I need the ones above, because the hardest part is just trying to get all these lined up. That one goes there. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess I could go ahead and add these, but then I'm gonna have to tear some of them down. We'll do that. If I need to add another row, I can, but a lot of them I'm not gonna need that many rows. 3, 6, 9. So we got 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 9 will be enough to bring that in. I don't know about the other way, but all right. So let's see if this will work. Name your blueprint. What are we calling this? Conveyor holes. 3 by 3. Okay, conveyor. So I guess I want this one. Okay. Let's go see if this see if this does what I need it to do. So I'm hoping that you snap. I was hoping. Well, so you're snapping on that end. It's fine, I guess. As long as it snaps in the middle. Because I'm doing these every 2 foundations, although it's clearly not at 2. Yeah, but that looks correct. I was hoping to be closer to the snap point. I don't know why it's... like, it's right on the edge, so I should either be right on it or really far away, and it's almost like I'm in the middle? Oh, maybe I'm in the middle. Maybe if I rebuilt that in the middle. I'm going to try that off camera. Yeah. So anyways, I've got... it's just a mess up there. I'm going to try to explain it, but I don't know that I could understand it by watching what I'm putting in. So I added... I really need a jetpack for this. Come on, move that way. So I added the Caterium on top of the coal because I know that Caterium node is coming this way. So that Caterium's running in. This is the other Caterium. I don't know if it's going to come from that way over there or this way over there, or it's going to have its own path over there, but somehow it'll get here. So those are the 2 Caterium. And then this one's the copper. So we've added all of those in. And we already saw the 3 copper, 2 from that way and 1 from this way. And now the 2 Caterium are up there. So that's that. And then these are the 2 iron and these are the 2 iron. So then here is going to be quartz, and we're trucking that in. So wherever I put the truck station, it's just going to conveyor up and go up there. Like, so it doesn't even have to be on here with the raw quartz. For now, it's trucked in. Then over here... this is where the limestone's supposed to be. And the problem is I've got the iron on these bottom 2. And this one... no, wait. That's the copper. Oh, this is going really well. Great job. Pro YouTuber. It's falling off the platform. Those are the 2 iron. Those are the 2 iron. That one's the copper. The problem is, oh, I've got space to put a belt here and here and here. I can't turn through it down here with the limestone. I'm so close to making this work. I don't want to widen the platform and add a bunch more conveyors, because then I'm going to go, well, if it's twice as wide, why do you have everything jammed in? Yeah. I don't know how the limestone's going to work, basically. Let me go remake that blueprint. I want to see if that works. And yeah, I basically, I need to start running those things that way, and then I need to figure out, yeah, it's just a lot. Wanted to show how many tickets I've got. I've been playing the game, doing all this stuff. I got 33 tickets here. I thought I could just double click. And then I got another 17 in here. It was just 16 a second ago. So we got, oh, that's funny. Got exactly 50 tickets. I literally did not plan that out. I knew I was in the 40s. So I want to come in here with my 50 tickets, which is not going to go very far. I absolutely, I want to get, yeah, I need those. I need those billboards. Okay, I don't need them, but give me a second. I need one more ticket, and I'm like, oh, let's come over here and grab some of these things. Well, these two conveyors were backed up. That one's not, just because I pulled one stack out. So we need to, and I hope I have the stuff to do this, we need to get our smart splitter. Put you on there, and there, and here. Oh, I don't know how that's going to work, actually. Yeah. There's going to be some clipping. I'm just warning you now. There's going to be some clipping. Now, that one I could move back. There's still going to be some clipping. Yeah. Where's this conveyor at? Can I... Oh, this is going to be ugly. I think I can put... Can I put a merger on this in the air? I kind of thought I could for some reason. Okay. We'll do it upstairs then. Land. Stop flying around. Okay, we got a merger there. Got a merger there. Mark 3 there. I guess this doesn't have to be a Mark 3, does it? Because those are like super slow. Mark 1. Mark 1. That one. I could run it out the wall too, but doesn't matter. It's all be tore down soon before you know it. Okay, and then we're gonna come down here to the smart splitter. We're gonna say the left on this one is overflow. That should start sending you. On you, the left is overflow. And on you, the right is overflow. Now, it's going to send a bunch right now, but I mean, it's only going to be a few a minute, right? Into that thing. Because we're not making many of those. But hey, look at all those extra tickets. Wait, why? Oh, because that one was very close. The stators were very close. I still don't have a ticket yet. I need one more ticket. My concrete production is backed up too, which is shocking because there's these two storage containers here. It goes up to the top floor. There's one more of these storage containers, and then it goes over to the corner, and then there's an industrial one, and then it comes from that down to another industrial one. So if you count those as two, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I've got 7 storage containers full of concrete. Yeah. So the other awesome sink is right outside this door. So we'll just do a little quick and dirty. Put that there. What size speed is this belt? Oh, it's a 3. Okay. Too steep. I mean, hey, we're clipping everything else. Why is it overlapping? Oh, I think maybe it's because of the weird angle. Okay. That's a lift mark 2. Like that? Sure. And then we'll come back here and we will set you to the right as overflow. Boom. Get us some more points. And I think by now I already have that one more ticket. Let's run back upstairs and grab that. And I know I said in the beginning of the episode, you know, we're going to have walls and stuff. I had the ramps coming out and they were taking up too much space. So I tore all the ramps down and I've got these there. I'm not saying that's what we're doing at all. I have no idea how that's going to go. So don't look at that and be like, oh, you're going to have those ramps there. No, I don't know. I know what the inside of the building looks like. And that's because I built it. I have no idea what the outside looks like. So I think everything in here now is sinking. Come on. I figured it was done. One ticket takes a long time now. Did you give me the ticket? Thank you. All right, so what are we getting for 51 tickets? Not that much. The billboards I absolutely want. The wall outlet Mark 1. I already have the Mark 2 unlocked, but the blueprint I'm using has the Mark 1 in it. So I've been putting Mark 1s down everywhere and I don't have them unlocked. The carbon steel finish and the unpainted finish. Steel walls. 2 different roofs. Windowed walls. The steel windowed walls. Yeah, that's all I'm going to get for 51. So pipeline wall attachment, don't care about yet. I might want the floodlights, and I'll definitely want the light control panels. We'll want street lights too, honestly. I kind of like the chrome finish. The copper and the Caterium, I don't really care. I'm going to want some of these. We're going to want some roof stuff. I don't know. I definitely still want the half foundations, and I want these ramps because there's a few times I could have used these. I don't know. I could use the door and the gate. I don't know that we're going to use those. We'll probably need these if we end up doing some angled roofs. Catwalks. I would still like to do some catwalks. That is one thing. Like over here at the factory, there should be, like, I built the big ramp to drive the vehicle up so I can bring a bunch of materials with me. But I mean, there should be catwalks between floors. Like there should be in each corner and maybe in the middle, a little bump out on the front and just kind of a staircase that goes up. So yeah, that kind of stuff. All right. Anyways, I'm just procrastinating now. And at some point I'll tear all that back down. The blueprint did work like I expected. If you put it in the center, it snaps right in front of you. And then I laid it down a whole bunch of times. And then I thought, you know, should I have made the blueprint with 2 or 3 of these and the conveyors in? Because that's a lot of conveying. Too late now. It's not really. I could go back and do it, but all right, back to the grind. We are going to go ahead and turn on all the iron and get it headed towards the base. It's not going to go upstairs and do anything, but I want to get it headed that way. I tore this area down and then redid it. Just, you know, putting stuff on foundations. Got the Mark II miners, got the Mark III belts. There's a little funniness there. I can't really do anything about it. I can't infinite nudge those to get it exactly where I want. Those jump to certain points and I can't fix it. Yeah, and the other issue is OBS did not record any of my game audio yesterday. This is a next day in the morning for me. So sorry about that. I 100% would have just gone back and recorded the whole episode again, but I've spent probably 6 or 7 hours off camera doing all this stuff, and there's just, I'm sorry, like I just can't do it again. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and hook this up. And so these 3, it should be 3 belts of 240. This one I need more power shards. Okay, so I'm gonna take off before they even do anything. We're gonna go up here to the Impure node. The 2 Impure nodes, I mean. Come on, you can do it. Okay, and we're going to connect that to this. So these two are both overclocked to 200, so 120 and 120, they'll combine together to 240. So we've got all 4 belts coming over, our 4 belts of 240. One's 120 right now until I find a couple more slugs. Then we're going to head over here. That is not what I wanted, and I don't even know how it happened. Sometimes this thing, like, it grabs a little too hard because, I mean, you're on grass. How much traction are you really going to get? So we'll come up here, and we've got 2 normal iron up high and then 2 a little bit down low. Get those. Okay, that's not what I wanted. Come on, settle down. Tell ya, I have a love-hate relationship with the parachute. Okay, that'll get those 2 going. So that'll be 4 240s from the old base, 4 240s from behind me, and then up here, there are 2 Impure nodes that will combine together. And that'll be our 9th one. Hook you up. And the other one's already here. I can get over here in time. I don't know if I can. Oh, I did it. There's the first one coming in now. I want it to be a little higher. Those 2, no. These 2 and those 2 are from that way. These 3 and that one are from the old base. That's the close one, I think. I don't remember. Oh, and there's that one. All right. So 9 belts of 240. Not yet. Once I put 2 more slugs in over there, it'll be 9 belts of 240. So that brings all the iron in. And if you look, what I was trying to go for was everything makes its way over there and it all turns and nothing crosses. And nothing does cross. There's one spot over here where I had to ramp that down. That's the only spot like that. Everything else where it enters is where it exits for the most part. Like there's a couple here that are on the outside and then turn onto the inside, but that's not an up and down thing. So I don't think that looks too bad. So that's all of the iron that's in the area. We've got it all over here and it's all ready to go up and start to be processed. I think this is probably a pretty good wrapping up point. I was hoping to get some of the other resources brought over to the factory, but we didn't quite get that far. It took a long time. It took a very long time to do this. Very long time. So what I'm going to do between episodes, you've basically seen me do the iron. I'm going to do the same thing with the copper. There's a copper node right there, and it's going to follow those steel beams, but those will have to be raised. So I'll bring that over, and the conveyor already goes to where it needs to go. Down at the far end, but still under the base, is the other copper, and the conveyor there already goes to where it needs to go. I just need to hook that up. And then we've got the copper from the old base, which I'll have to build something over to get it onto there, and then that conveyor already runs over. So I'm going to do that between episodes. I'm also going to, I don't think I need this steel production because right now it's honestly, it's just getting synced. So I'm going to tear all of that down. That way I can get those 2 miners brought down because those 2 are going to go to the steel. I need to go over here and get the coal over. I'm still not so sure about this bridge. I'm not so sure about the bridge. I'm going to think about that. The Caterium node is right there. I will bring that one over for sure across the bridge or maybe a different bridge. The Caterium over there, I don't know. I don't feel like I should bring it this way. It might end up with its own thing coming this way. I don't want to truck it in. It's like, it's right there. I can technically see it. I'm going to figure the limestone out. I'm not probably going to have it all set up, but I'm going to figure it out. And maybe something else. I don't know. I can't like show all this stuff on camera because it's too much, and I can't time lapse it because I'm in there in like this little mess of belts like jumping around, and it would just look all bad. So anyways, we'll continue this next time on episode 10. And hopefully episode 10, we have all of the resources brought under the factory so that on 11, we can actually start producing things. All right. Thanks for watching. See you next time.